Yeah, exactly.
You can't go to court looking like Sideshow Bob, bro. You gotta at least button up a little bit, bro.
No, I ain't button. This is what I look like. This is what my money look like. What's up today? What's up, YouTube? This is Rod Uncensored. I got a special guest. You already know who it is. How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing all right, man. I'm just just looking at life, self-reflecting, man. Just the shit I've been through as a father, and I feel like sometimes you feel like you can't win, man. I feel like the cards stack against you, man. You know what I mean?
And it is.
And sometimes it be stressful, man. Just the weight of the world on you, man.
But in situations like that, like, my backstory and shit, man. I've been through a whole lot, and I still got a whole lot to go through, like we all do.
Mm-hmm.
And what I look at things, my understanding of life since I've been home is that life really is a roller coaster ride. You got it goes up and down, up and down. And when you up, you got to embrace it and, enjoy it and milk it. That's what I do, because I know sooner or later I'm going to end up going down. And going down is, down, like what you're going through, what we all go through in life and shit. But what you got to look at is you got to find a positive in a negative situation. And you got to be able to look at it as challenges, the things that we're going to go through when we're down. And those are designed to see where we're at and the things and show us the things that we need to work on, and also build confidence, because we all been down one point in life and made it up out of that. And the consistency of doing that will allow you to, build up the confidence that you're going to be all right, and understanding that you're going to be all right. If I can make it out of all that stuff, I'm going to be able to make it out of here. It's like 3 things you can do to a storm when you're weathering the storm. When you're about to weather a storm, you can wait on it for it to come to you. You can run from it, and that's what people do with drugs and all types of other stuff because they don't want to deal with their situations. Or you can meet it head on and get it over with.
Yeah, man. And you just, like you said, man, especially you, man. I've been seeing you've been posting your daughter going to her dance practices, and go take your daughter, have that me time to the nail salon. But you, as a black single father, man, do you feel like it's you feel like they respect you, the teachers, and you get your respect?
Oh man. See, I relate with the women, the single mothers, because just having one child for 8 years is I can't say it's been hard, but I understand when you got, one compared to 3, 4, 5, 6 kids, and you're doing it by yourself. And the only thing that the other is doing, the other contributor to the child is doing, is giving you a hard time. And then you look at society and what you got to go through. So I deal with a lot of mothers through the barbershops and personal friends, and they all got, I would say, 95, 97% of them are, single mothers, or the father ain't stepping up like a dad's supposed to, So when they come across me, man, I get from her school to, I get all what I call flowers. I get flowers all the time. When they give her flowers, they give me, I'm getting the flowers too. She got to share them flowers. So, I get my flowers.
Yeah, man. Because I think that's needed, man. It's the story is cold, oh man. When there's a hard time, when in your shoes, it's a lot of people to say, "Oh, that's what you're supposed to do," but they, they glorify the black mom, everything, the black mom, but they're not asexual, right? And I feel like we get overlooked as men and as fathers, man.
Because this world revolves around negative energy, and there's so many that ain't doing what we're doing. They get all the attention because all the negative energy is first, put on them. And when you consume the negative energy, you kind of put positive energy on the back burner. So, you know, it ain't a lot of us stepping up and doing, because I haven't. I've been out since 2012, and I have only met 2 young men in their 20s that raising their daughter by themselves. Just 2. So I don't see a lot of, especially, and all 3 of us got girls.
And I feel like it's a thing of, you know what I mean? I feel like, you know what I mean, it's the system, man. The child support system, and just the system of keeping the black brother in bondage. And,
Yeah.
and I think they should do mental tests on these mothers, man, because I don't think it's always right for the woman to have the kid, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. A lot of these women don't. These females. I don't call everybody a woman, but these females don't need to have a kid that they gonna be responsible for and take care. Because the guy, the male, he can dip. He'll dip with no with no problem. So yeah, that female should. Another thing that should be taken into consideration is that after every birth, the DNA test should be taken immediately.
Oh, I totally agree with that, man.
Immediately. That eliminates conflict and confusion, and you know they don't understand what that does to what that does to the kid when the kid gets older. That, like, I'm speaking from experience. That really mess a child up, thinking, you know what I'm saying, playing with that. You're just playing with it. You can't play with it. You should manage your vagina a lot more better.
I totally agree on that, man, because there's a lot of brothers find out. They get to that 18-year mark, be like, oh, yo, you're not even really the dad. You know how mad, you know what I mean? And you can't really be mad at the brother if he loses it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't really and hit it with a 1-2 with no biscuit, because you played with that mental game. This man got attached.
Let me tell you the weakest game that was ran on me, right? So he was like 14. Yeah, he was 14 because he's like 28 now, somewhere around there. He was like 14, and he was in high school, and he got in a fight, and he messed dude up real bad to the point where the parents pressed charges. So I go down to the, you know, where the meeting was supposed to be with the prosecutor and all them officials, and I asked the secretary, you know, I'm looking for such and such, you know, what room is he in? So she looked down the list and was like, I don't have a such and such, but I got a such and such and such. You know what I'm saying? He got 2 last names with the hyphen, and one of those last names is not mine. Now, when you see something like that, what does the 2 last names represent? The mother and the father.
Yeah.
Their last names put together. When you see that hyphen, yeah, Shay Gilchrist Alexandra. Mother's Gilchrist, dad is Alexandra. So one of those names wasn't mine. So, you know, I got a way of doing things. I'll ask a question, and I'll put the answer in the memory, and then I'll come back later on, months or years later on, and ask the question, try to trip them up if I feel like that's needed. This one wasn't needed. So I asked him, he had no clue. He was just a dunce. So then I asked the mom, and the mom said that they went, you know, the hospital messed it up and she never fixed it. My thing is, if the hospital messed it up and why did I have to hear that from some stranger when you should have been the one to tell me? Now I got seeds planted in my head that this ain't mine, and I want a DNA test. You know, they play games like that, and it ain't really cool, because you're really not hurting the man for real. I mean, you is, but not as much as you hurting that kid. Because that man can have another kid. That kid might never find his dad. He's gonna look at you some type of way, and you know it's a stupid situation that females put parties into.
And let's be real about it too, about the situation. It's a lot of them that we had a real you're a little bit older than me, but we had real examples of real independent moms that really got it out the mud. No excuses. I made my bed. I had these kids. It is what it is. I'm gonna keep on. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to take care of my kids. But it's so many illusions of the independent. I'm doing it by myself, but that's really not the case. It's a lot of them that are doing really crazy finesse games of like quitting their job so they can try to hurt the man. You know what I mean? To hurt his pockets. because they moved on. We can't quit our jobs and say, man, fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm quitting my job because I'm mad. I want to hurt a woman. That shit don't hurt nobody but yourself.
Really do.
You know what I mean? With that split household, you only got one income. You might got a partial income, and the state gonna pay you when they feel like paying you.
Right. It's just how I like it like that. I've been seeing things, a couple videos on the internet where they're talking about foreigners getting pregnant by Americans so they can get their citizenship through their child. And the government matter of fact, it was Mexicans, Latinos, talking about, just come over to the United States and have babies. And the government's going to take care of you. And you're going to live like a king and a queen. Like, the hell?
I call it breeding for a bag.
Yeah, like, what do you call it? Green card, too. Citizenship.
It's countless of women I hear, even in the urban community say, man, I'm tired of my mom. I'm gonna get pregnant, and I'm gonna get pregnant by some Jimbo over there across the street, so I can get my own place, so I can move out. Like, how you come with some dumb shit like that? Because you ready to move out?
That's a solution to a problem. Every problem got a solution. It might look some type of way, but if the solution worked, then it is what it is. However way you gotta, get it done, you go get it done. People, it's hard out here. Man, it's really hard out here, especially for brothers. A lot of brothers ain't got no names on no rental lease. The roof that they're up under has the name of the female that lives there. Same with the car. Like, it's hard. These brothers out here struggling, and the women are having to pick them up and carry them on. And most of them get tired of it. They just really want to, deep down inside, they really want a male figure in a house, a male figure essence in a house, presence in a house. That's it. Because he ain't doing nothing but playing video games and just not having no responsibility as far as get care to go get a job, because she got everything taken care of through public assistance, and they just trying to survive, man. By any means necessary. That's a lot of people's mentality. Whether it's grimy or the wrong way or the right way, as long as it's a solution to their problem, hey, they're gonna do it.
Yeah, man. And you know what I mean? But it should be. I just feel like we're just as a people, just vindictive people, man, and we just lacked of not knowing how to properly heal. You know what I mean? Because a relationship mess up or ends bad, it doesn't mean you gotta use these kids as weapons. You know, because at the end of the day, the kids only want to be hurting.
It's just people and their feelings, man. You just gotta hope that you don't have to deal with that. I've dealt with it. In their feelings and using the child as a pawn and playing games and hiding and all that, man. It's just, man, there's so many human beings on this planet, man. You bound to run across a whole bunch, not a few, but a whole bunch that don't get it, and overly emotional creatures that do damage and don't even care what they're doing. So you just got to be blessed if you ain't come across any of those like that. That's why you got to keep your circle tight. You got to learn from your lessons. That's all life is, lessons. Where I went wrong at dealing with this, what did I miss? Paying attention to red flags, testing people and protecting yourself so you don't invest all your energy into something that you end up finding out is nothing. So, everything we go through is an experience and a lesson for us to learn to. And if we don't learn it, we're going to make life harder for ourselves. And that's what a lot of these can't get rights is doing. They don't want to heal because they're so caught up in it, or they want to run from the storm and don't want to face the music and all that. It's a whole lot of different things. Or they're in denial, not accepting what their problems is. And it's just, that's why you got to keep your circle small, man. You got to be selective. You got to be socially selective on who you're dealing with and watch the people around. We say you got to watch those niggas that's close to you and do, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to watch them people, because everybody don't, everybody ain't right in the mind. Nobody's perfect, but a lot of motherfuckers, man, they.
And you know what I mean? And where we come from, you just naturally have PTSD when it comes to women. Because that's the most.
Oh God, man!
I mean, like, you don't know, like, you don't know what some people's intentions are. What do you see in me? Why do you love me? You gotta ask some
You gotta.
questions.
I ask those questions all the time, and
What
I'll
I
match the answer. Like
yeah.
I want to know. I literally ask those questions. Like, what is it about me that got you like that? I want to
Yeah.
know. You got to pick their mind. People are just getting caught up in the outer layer, the outer shell. Man, you got to get inside and see what that's all about. That's where it's all at. That's where all the real action is at. God damn it.
Yeah, man. That's you gotta do your homework, man. I'm sorry I had to blow my nose, but yeah, you gotta do your homework, man, and really find out that question. I didn't really see that too. I got like late in my 20s. That's like, yo, I'm done with the dumb shit, man. I gotta find the person where I can, really have that whole ultimate covenant with and move differently, man. Because you get tired of fucking arguing, man. You
Man,
know, like you get tired of arguing and the bickering. And you put sanitizer and fucking dish soap in my food. I'm shitting like a billy goat. Like you don't know what. Like that's the craziest thing. These motherfuckers will set you up, put something in your food because they arguing with you. You know what I mean, Mar? You know what I'm talking about. There's some wild niggas out here that will fuck with you, man. So it's good to have the less stress you can have because you already had to deal with the bill, man. Then if that situation don't, that's why I tell all the people I run into, young boys wise, that be careful who you have kids with. And if you're not sure this the person is, you gotta, set yourself up. If this girl is just a lady of the night, she Waffle House, treat her like that. Use a condom and don't
man, a
be
lot
hitting
of
this
that shit.
shit raw, man, because
Brothers
they
is
will fuck you up.
brothers is young. These young boys, they smart, but what in their minds is on operating differently and shit from when we was their age. The thing is, man, lust will never change, man. That shit would be go
Yeah,
in out of sight, out of mind, man. You forget it. You want to
yeah.
disregard that and dive right into it.
Mhm.
There's situations
Nah.
like that. As much, especially when you're dealing with so many, dealing with a lot of different females.
Hmm.
It just take one time to slip up,
Just
one
one
time.
time.
So
And don't tell her you don't want to be with her. It's over with, man. Women can't handle rejection. Don't tell her
they
you
just,
don't want.
man, listen, they really can't, man. All that arguing and stuff you talk about, man, that's one of the biggest reasons I don't want to be in a relationship. Because I'm into protecting my peace. And I'm at peace when I'm by
Woo.
myself. That's at the highest level. And if she can't bring me that add to that peace, if we can't communicate, and that's another thing these people, these partners in relationships problems, biggest problem is they don't know how to communicate. Two human beings can't listen and understand each other when they're talking at the same time. That's just totally disrespectful. They don't know the conduct of conversations and communications as far as you get the mic and I be quiet, and then I get the mic and then you be quiet. And then we go into a dialogue after the monologue is over with. It's always some confusion, especially the older ones. I can't stand the older ones. They get so emotional that they ain't thinking, and then they saying things and you trying to correct them, and it's just but females, they'll say one. That's like, how a person is saying something to you about you ask you something and you already picked it up where they're going with it before they finish the sentence.
Hmm.
And the female asks you a question and you'll answer no, but they keep on adding little things to it. And when they're done, the same answer is no. You was never even looking for an answer, because I told you in the beginning of it. I told you 35 words earlier. What did it just gets so emotional, and you got to be able to bring them out of their emotion. And if you drop down to their emotion, man, it's all, you ain't nothing but another female. It's two feminine energy human beings going back and forth yelling. It's about to get physical because they ain't getting nowhere. So you got to be, be able to bring them out. But before all that, you got to pay attention to see how they react, because people ain't perfect, and all you got to do is pay attention, and they'll slip up and they'll show you who they are. That's the only thing you can really trust, and you can't trust human beings. The only thing you can trust is that they'll be them. In the end of the day, you'll see who they are through their actions.
And that's what it is, man. Because you know what I mean. That's the worst thing you could. You know what I mean. That's what's gonna bring it out of people's actions. How you see what they look like when they mad. See what they gonna say when you aggravate them. You know what I mean? Some people say some more hateful shit. You be like, damn, this motherfucker definitely don't love me.
Man, you
You know
say
what
it
I mean?
once, you only gotta say it. You gotta slip one time, and after that, yeah, it's a wrap. I ain't gonna give you a second chance because I know it's gonna come back. I'm gonna keep
I,
you at a distance until I
I,
can't touch you. No, so you can't touch me no more.
especially you play them cop games. You know, when you get an argument, you want to call the cops. You know, I'm talking. You know, I'm just talking. Like you can't tell. You know what I mean? But I feel like we struggle. You know what I mean when it comes to this communication. That's like, you know what I mean? That's the dying art. This communication in general, man, and
But
that's why we lack.
when it comes to communicating your negative feelings, oh, that's at 100. They good at that.
10,000. But the simple
They
shit.
good at that. Oh, they're
This,
so good at that. So you can communicate. You just don't want to communicate like an adult and use your intelligence to communicate. You want to
Mhm,
communicate with your emotion. And so let's see where
mhm.
that's going to get you. Nowhere, nowhere. Because once that ball start rolling down for a female, it's over with if you don't stop it. And if you can't stop it, then you're gonna end up getting frustrated and you're gonna start following the trail. And next thing you know, man.
But like we always said, that the episode we had, it all starts from home, and I feel like we men, women, you know, what I mean, from our community, we don't see the proper things of being wives, husbands, and that's where it starts. But you got to want to, you know, change, or you want to change for the greater of your kids, or you know, what I mean, even co-parenting to be. You got to separate that past shit if you want to move forward and to be, you know, what I mean, because you know, what I mean, center into the kids and make sure they get the life lessons so they can be adults. But we struggle with that shit right there.
Because a lot of us, I can't see adult. I can't teach you. I can't teach you Latin if I don't know Latin. So a lot of these parents don't even know because they wouldn't talk. Why? Because their parents probably didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
You see how it's like the domino. I always use the domino effect as an analogy of what's going on in today's society. It's like, if you think about our generation all the way down to our great great grandmother generation or grandfather generation, it's basically we was all raised similar or kind of like the same. It's like passed down and whatnot. But then it's like somebody took our generation and pulled it out of the domino effect, and one hit the other, and all that other shit pulled ours out, and now the generation that we produce is starting a whole new, what I'm saying, a whole new life, because they don't go by the ways that we were raised up on, and what our parents and so forth and so on were raised up on, passing down the line, generation after generation. It got pulled out. That's like the punishments when back in the old days, before they came in the 80s and start changing things up as far as punishment, we used to get beat. Yeah, you get the hell beat out of you. Now that's considered child abuse. You can't send a child out there in the woods to go get a switch, a weapon of mass destruction to be used on you. You can't do that no more. So, we're entering a new world where things is done differently. We're talking about emotions. We accept it, they're trying to explain to them that men got emotions. We're all humans. Every human being that comes with the package, emotions. Either you learn how to control them or you don't learn how to control them. It's either or. We're learning all about these little different things that we wouldn't talk right there. So, even if it starts at home, and the home is, and a lot of that homes that we were raised up in, not all of them was perfect. Bill Cosby, the Cosby type perfect. That was the only model we had back in the days. Not all of them was up to that criteria, hitting that note. But there was others that wasn't like that and was down. You can learn a lot from a dummy. If you
And
live in a household, you can be like, yeah, I'm not gonna live like that. Me and my significant other, me and my husband, or me and my wife aren't gonna do what I was raised up to do, to see.
and Mar, in so many words, you know me, Lamar. I be seeing like the shit, the TV back in the day, man, has so many meanings into it, man. You look at James off of Good Times, right? James tried his best to talk to what was the wife's name off that joint?
Florence.
Yeah, Florence. He was like, man, we gotta get out of here. I got this. Oh, why, James? It's cheap here, James. James is always trying to create the thing out to get his family out the projects. But
You know,
Florence
you
said
know,
no,
yeah, she was comfortable. I
comfortable.
mean, she argued with Michael about about Jesus being black.
Yeah, yeah, that shit
But
was deep.
you know what Good Times was for real? The whole show, the overall show, the meaning of the show.
I
It
feel
was
like
a show,
enslavement. I feel like
huh?
it's enslavement shit. You really think about it.
Good Times was showing how the struggle is with
Hmm.
us. That's all it was. There's what Good Times all about was the daily struggle of a black family, right? You
Hmm.
know what the Cosby Show was? It
What
was the
was?
opposite. It was showing people that this is what you can have.
Hmm.
We came from Good Times to the Cosby Show, and people started using the Cosby Show as a blueprint on how to raise a family.
Hmm.
But thinking of it like this: who hates us the most on this planet? What race hates us the most?
Oh.
No, no, we don't hate us more than we ain't gonna tie. No, we ain't gonna tie another one of us to four horses by the limbs and smack them in different directions and split them apart. We're not gonna use black babies to go throw them out and to use them as gator bait. We're not gonna rape our own, the other race. We don't. Come on, no, we don't hate our people more than Caucasians hate us. That's just
Mm.
facts. That's
And,
fact.
but you know what I mean? The smartest thing they had, man. Let me say this, man. The system and the higher up smart white Caucasian people did is when they made that system called welfare, Section 8 and stuff like that, social services, and because they
So
said
why to keep the black
keep them
father out the
out
house? That's really one reason.
because we
Multiple
can't.
reasons. That's one of the
Mhm.
reasons. Outside of prison and all that other
Oh
stuff,
yeah,
make it
prison.
hard to get a job. But my point of the matter is that white people put stuff out, put everything we got media wise is controlled by Caucasians, right? Let's just be real with it, right? And we're asking why is it all like this and this, that, another, and why we're going through it? Because they put the stuff out and they're not gonna want to help us. Why should they help us? Why they feel like why? Give me a reason why the powers that be should stop acting the way they're acting towards us.
Mhm.
When they're just having so much control and have making so much money out, and we're still slaves to them. Our own purpose, their purpose of bringing us over here was to make them money. And then after that, they was told that they can't force us to be slaves. What happened? They was like, okay, we're gonna do it another way, and we're gonna still make the dollar. We're gonna make the dollar come back to us by manipulating and blowing their heads up and putting emphasis on something such as Jordans and all this other white products that's being made. Yeah, we're paymasters. Now we're paymasters. And we don't put no money in our community. We put it in all the other communities. We're paymasters. That's the only significant role we have in here.
Mhm.
So they don't want to help us out. Huh.
And you know what I mean? It's just crazy that the war on black men and black fathers, I feel like it's never going to change, man. I feel like, you know what I mean? You just got to keep on taking the lashes, man, as a black man.
Uh, I ain't concerned with it's not look, man, they've been doing this shit, man. We done made huge steps from 1969, or not 69, 1959, late 50s, all the way to now when segregation was completely out the way. We done made a whole bunch of huge steps. And we're still crawling in the process of getting to where we're supposed to be. And I don't know if we'll ever see where if we get there. But it's a process. We made major changes over the last 60 years. We got black billionaires. We done had a black president and our colored president and colored billionaires and women that are dominating their industries and money is just flowing. But yeah, think about whose bank account what their bank account look like, the ones that signing this check and putting these sisters and brothers on to become these billionaires and millionaires. You
Hmm.
think yeah, they're making trillions off of it. And the money is still going to come back. Well, I was talking to somebody about reparations, and if we was to get reparations, they can give us reparations, just as they gave the Native Americans and the Jews and all that stuff. They can give us reparations. It would be something like when they were giving out all that money during the Corona. If they was to do that, what would happen? That money will go right back to them, just like the Corona money and all them checks that we gave that money right back to them. And if I know this, they know this. So knowing that might be a strong fact. Why wouldn't they just go ahead and give us reparations? Because y'all gonna get the money right back. It ain't like we're gonna build a whole goddamn community. Even if we even tried to give buy a whole community, we still got to go to the banks. And who run the banks? Who gives the yeses and nos on the banks? Yeah, they do. So either way it goes, they're getting that money. They don't even want. They can't stand it so much that they don't want to give us shit.
No, because at the end of the day, I don't care how much it is. They know, like you said, that money will go right back to the neighborhood or back to their pockets because we lack that money management skills, and we still working on that. But it's crazy that they just like us to be in bondage, financially.
And we have every reason, every right to feel some type of way against them on a hateful level. The shit that they've done, the shit that they do, and the shit that they're going to do, keep doing. We got but it is not in our nature to be like that. That's the beauty about being, that's the beauty about us. We do not hold, we hold grudges, and we have our own little personal beef. That's why I think it's a lot of hurt people situation in our clan, in the Black community and whatnot, because we don't take it out on them. They can come into one of our establishments and they'll be welcome. But if we go in one of their establishments, it's going to be a problem. And there's a whole bunch of white people, it's going to be a problem. Someone's going to have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
For what? For what reason? It's like, America is a hero to some countries, right? So if somebody's in another country and they're getting bullied, America come over there and save them, right? That's what they did with Somalians in Columbus and all in other states in the United States. They went down to Somalia and got like 8,000 Somalians and brought them back to the United States because they were being bullied by a warlord, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, and they were fighting and they couldn't, you got other countries in South America, and during the Reagan days, with the Contras, and the United States was giving them guns and all that extra stuff to help them fight the government because of personal agendas. And so, but my point is, America go over and help these other individuals in need of help, but nobody's gonna come and do that for us. Why? Because we're under protection of the biggest bully, the Americans, the United States government. If a country will come over, that's like we don't even stand for ourselves because we allow a lot of this stuff happen. The Native Americans was like, nah, we ain't going like they went. Y'all not about to have y'all's way like y'all had those colored people's way. We'll rather die. I always ask young niggas and just to see where their mind is at. And I'm like, you rather be judged by 12, life or death situation. You rather be judged by 12 or carried by 6. And I wait for their answer. And based off that answer is how I'm going to handle them from here on out. I'm either going to bring them in close or I'm going to keep them at a distance because you don't get it. And most of them say I'd rather be judged by 12. 12 of your peers that aren't your peers. You rather go into the belly of the beast thinking that you're going to survive and die in prison as a slave at the shoe shop and all that, being under super max control and all that. Nah, just give me death. I want to roll with those that's going to choose to be carried by 6. Because there's two different type of niggas. It's those that get it and it's those that don't get it. And there's more to those that don't get it. And therefore, those that get it, the powers that be, focus on them to manipulate their minds. You a weak link in the chain. I can't have you in my circle, my nigga. Bam. I don't care who you is. So the shit is all by design, getting the fathers out the way, turning the women into against the black man. They just burying the black man. They really don't have to, because they burying it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The job is already done. But they continue to pile on the shit that they already put on us for no reason. But outside of hate, pure hate.
And that's why I don't understand why they burying us like this, man. We already burying ourselves in general. We got bad habits. We got You got stress of bills, stress of taking care of the family, stress of
each other.
Nigga, Lamar might, hit me with the blicky because I looked at him wrong. This the natural stress of being black is so much. And you got PTSD by at least age 10 or earlier.
Oh, man.
To seeing shit,
depending on how much you done seen. Depending on how much you seen.
You know what I mean?
That PTSD is serious, man. That shit is serious. It comes with triggers. You can be cool. Like I got a couple females that I have PTSD from, because when I hear a song, I start thinking about all the things we've been through, and I start like, man, my energy just straight drop. Some I'll start getting, start really, really feeling some type of way inside, like hurt, heartbreak, and things of that nature. So that PTSD is real, man. A lot of the key to moving forward faster than what we are at this snail pace, because we at a snail pace at crawling to where we need to be, is therapy. We need to embrace therapy. And I've been talking about that all week to different individuals, and it's like, white and black, because I always get different perspectives of, from races and stuff. And it's like people would say, I don't know that person and this, that, and other, so I don't feel comfortable talking about my issues to somebody I don't know. Man, them are simple-minded human beings to me, because of course, people that you rather talk to somebody you do know and risk the chance of them getting mad at you and throwing it in your face or telling somebody else, or you rather trust somebody you ain't gonna never see unless you set up an appointment, who is bound under oath to, what is it? Client confidentiality. Yeah, they're bound for that.
And I think that's like, ain't that part of HIPAA too?
Yeah, their license can be in suspension or in jeopardy if they do some stuff like that. That's breaking the ethical code. And them people don't play. They've been in college for 5 to 8 years, so however long it takes for them to get their degrees for a reason, to help other human beings. That's the simple mindset of our people. They're ashamed. They're so ashamed to talk about their stuff that they don't even want to talk to somebody that is obligated not to speak about it. That what we talk about is in this room, and it stays in this room. And I'm here to help you, but I can't help you if you don't open up. Like that's just an excuse, because you're ashamed of your shit. You know your shit stink. You don't want nobody telling you your shit stink.
Yeah, and I think that's a serious thing, man. I start realizing, like, you can't. The stress of being vulnerable in relationship is scary, man. I mean, and you know what I mean? Because
if you with the wrong person,
I'm saying
you with the wrong person.
I'm just saying, if you that's what I was about to go to.
Yeah,
if you're the wrong person. You tell nigga, you know what I mean? Countless times I tell my wife, I'm like, I ain't really feeling it today. Mentally, I'm not feeling it today. It's some women, you tell her that shit, what the fuck wrong with you, nigga? Why you acting like a pussy and shit like that?
Dude, that's the sign. I gotta go.
You know, I gotta go. But
I gotta go.
We don't take
that. Gonna work.
You don't take that mental health side serious. You don't know
because you don't love yourself. First of all, you don't love yourself if you put up with that type of behavior. You gonna let somebody talk to you like that, and they don't love you, because the person that love you gonna be sympathetic and understanding. I ain't never met nobody that was like that. If I did, man, I'm cutting them off. Right, I'm cutting them off. Like, you can get up out my house. You can get out of my car and find another way. I love myself. A lot of people don't love themselves, but they tolerate a lot of BS, and they deserve it, because the person only do what you allow them to do. That's on you. You need to work on that, and nobody should have any pity that you're going through what you're going through with that individual that's supposed to love you. That don't make sense. You need to fall back and learn how to love yourself. Otherwise, you're gonna continue it, and you deserve it.
But yeah, man, I think that is serious though, man. It's a lot of probably brothers that, you know what I mean, can't take that talking and being vulnerable. And there's a lot of people right now is at that point where they ready to delete themselves, man. Yeah. They got that shit on them, man. That dark place on it. That cloud come on you. You don't check that shit. It's like having a bad check engine light in your car. You keep on fucking around, it shit stop working.
Stop working. If you don't pull over and tend to it, and do what you're supposed to do, check on it and make sure get everything back on track so you can keep moving forward. But like they say, only the strong survive. That's so true, man. And the weak will perish. You weak-minded, you will perish.
But it ain't nothing wrong with getting the help, man. Some people therapy is different, man. Some people therapy is just taking a few minutes to themselves and giving themselves uh, some good motivation words, say to put them in the air for yourself, or sitting outside and just smelling that motherfucking air and taking deep breaths, or you know what I
Or
mean? Like
laying in quiet, just
laying
laying
in
by
quiet,
yourself.
man.
People always talk about, I don't like being alone, man. If you understood, you wouldn't be able to say nothing like that because you never alone. You always got you, and you got God with you. You
Yep.
are we get lonely. We're never alone. We get lonely. We're never that's just people don't get it, man. I see it. I've been seeing it day after day after day. And since I've been home, there's a lot of human beings do. Now I would say like 85% of them don't get it. They don't get it. And
And
it's
that's
and it's
hard.
simple stuff. It's simple stuff. Something as simple as a man supposed to walk in between the traffic, protect like he's protecting the woman, and it's the other way around. Something as simple as a female walking through the door and a man holding it, you just say thank you. Something as simple as have a good day, Rod. You be safe out there, and I hope you have a blessed week. Oh, you too, Corey. Not thanks, Corey, and keep it pushing. Like simple stuff. They don't get simple stuff until they're taught.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame because you've been on this planet, you've been in this game, this hood called adulthood, since you were for the last 3 decades. You got 3 decades of experience, 2 decades. One, you 20, you came in when you 20, now you 31. Now there's no excuse. The shit is common sense. But like they say about common sense, it truly is not common. It really
Yeah,
ain't.
it's definitely not really ain't common, but I think, man, and like I always say, man, you got to start with your branches, man. To try to make the human race 1% better, and that's with your kids, man, and that's hard to do right there. But I think man, it's definitely tough, man, to get prepared, man. These babies, man,
Anything
for
worth
life.
having don't come easy. That's just how
No.
it's designed. So you got to be able to put in work. Nothing is a cakewalk, man. This is a mental. This is like chess. It's a thinking man's game. You got to
Mhm.
be able to think, and if you can't think, you ain't gonna be able to figure it out. Because the shit is really not extreme. It could be difficult, but it's not hard if you use common sense. Because common sense gonna make it easier.
Mhm.
You have your moments and shit, and your moments are designed, like they say, grab the moment, live in the moment. Yeah, you gotta live in the moment in this world. You can't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow gonna take care of itself. You gotta live in the moment. You can't worry about what's gonna happen an hour from now because you can't control none of that stuff. Control what you can control in the moment and learn from it when you make mistakes in that moment. That's progressing in life. That's what we're really designed to do, and that's evolve, not just physically, but mentally. That's where the game is all at, mentally. And a lot of humans don't know that. They don't get it.
Man, and I always say it's like this, man. If you're not right mentally, it's like be on the airplane. They said that shit go down. You gotta put your mask on first.
Can't panic. Can't be screaming and looking away. Asking questions. What's wrong? No. Soon as them things drop down, come on, come on. Use some
you gotta
common sense. Don't
you gotta
worry
put your
about it.
mask on first, man.
Don't worry about it. Just get your. Come on. It's not. People overthink. Overthinking ain't thinking about nothing. It's mind over matter. I was telling some cat in prison, man. He been in since the '90s, 30 years. And this nigga institutionalized as hell. God damn, man. I felt sorry for him. I really did. And I was like, man, if you think about all the stuff that you think matters, if you just use your mind, you understand it is mind over matter because it really don't matter. A lot of that stuff don't matter. What matters is what you can control. Focus on that because we use too much energy on things that don't even matter. When we can be using that, when we realize they matter, we can use that energy to focus on things that really do matter. Like doing some self-check within you, finding time to learn how to love you, focus on the good things about you and work on the bad things about you, your character. Yeah, that stuff matters, and it's gonna take your mind to make that shit really really matter.
Hmm. Like and that's the thing, man. You got to teach the etiquette, man, because the etiquette everything. Because I don't know what kind of day you going with, Lamar. I see you in the corner. I'll bump you by accident, and me say fuck. Man, I may not say nothing. It could be something like that to make you fucking tick and just, delete me. I don't know what a motherfucker's day is. That's why I always come with some kind of respect. If I touch somebody or offend somebody, I'm sorry. You gotta be the bigger person. You did somebody wrong. You gotta correct that.
Especially when
Even a simple bump. A simple bump, somebody might take that shit some different ways. You don't know.
But we can talk ourselves out of the situations. We can if we know how to do it, we can control the situation. For example, it was yesterday. This guy came in, and before he came in, I was telling another barber, you can't talk to the clients like that. You're gonna end up talking to the wrong one, and they're gonna give you what you ain't expecting. So you gotta have some understanding that they're foreigners. They don't understand things and whatnot. Because we talking reckless, like you sound crazy. What do you talk to really unnecessary and whatnot? So this guy come in with a little 7-year-old, and his hair is a mess. Like, he ain't been getting taken care of or anything like that. So everything was cool. He told me he asked me, how can I make it soft? I gave some instructions, leaving instructions, this, that, and other. It was cool. We had like three, he kept coming back in and out. And we had three rounds. So the first round, everything was cool. I started cutting. Second round, he came in and he wasn't pleased. And he started running his mouth. And I noticed that he had a cup in his hand. Right. So, I'm trying to calm, I didn't get upset, and he questioned my ability and all this other extra stuff. So I end up asking him what you want. He's like, I want this. So I was like, you want the whole thing? You want it picked out and whatnot? He questioned me and shit. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. If I can do it. If you can't do it, I'll have the other barber do it. But I was like, my God, he gave me $40 for the little boy. He bringing that up like I want my son's. He's a prince. I mean, he's a prince. I want him looking like a prince. And, well, okay, you didn't give me the instructions in the beginning, but I got you. Just calm down. I got you. So when he leaves, his partner that was with him, he's talking about. And I hear him say, what is it called? What's that drink called? Start with a T. Tito's. He's like,
Yeah.
Tito's the motherfucker. So with that, I understand that this motherfucker is under influence. Now, I can match that energy because he really was pissing me off. But I had to remember that when you're trying to better yourself or you set an example, just like I explained to dude that you got to be cool and keep your composure and be professional with an irate customer, then here I am. I'm on the stage and he's watching, seeing how, because he's waiting for me. He just knew that he was waiting for me to explode because dude was really trying me, right? But I understood the situation and I controlled the situation. He came back in the third time. I shaped it up, afro, just like the picture. Everybody in the shop loving it. He got a smile on his face. And then this dude come and tell me that he want me to sponge it. Like my hair, just take the sponge and mess all this perfect. I had it shaped like a microphone cover, round off, took my time with it and all that. Now, normally that'd fucking piss me off and I'd say something because this is the third time, you know what I'm saying? But I kept my composure. So my point of the matter is when we do things like that, you got to think for those you got to be able to think for those who can't think for themselves. I call that a mental tool that we need to have in life, because if I can't think for him, I can't think for myself, and it's gonna clash. So if you bumping into a person and he get at you, you got to be able to think for him and keep your composure and apologize and break it all down and can take control of the situation, no matter who you're around. Because a lot of people be getting complex when somebody get at him and there's people around and he got to match that energy. And because a lot of them be like, simple-minded, if he ain't do what they expected him to do and be all rowdy and all this other stuff, he's soft and whatnot. That's what majority gonna look at it, but you're gonna have a few that really see it like, man, oh dude, that young man, he handled that situation right, because it could have been a nigga moment, and he handled it. And he prevented from being a nigga.
And I feel like that changed for everything, man. Because again, Lamar, a man's job is to be a problem solver, a conflict solutions, come forward with conflict solutions, because you get to an age where that shit don't be about nothing. You know what I mean? It don't be worth that the match that to have that nigga moment. Because it's gonna be somebody locked up or you go too far and motherfucker fall and they out of here. And now you put yourself in a disadvantage. Now you can't take care of your kids because you put yourself in a situation.
And what all caused that? What all caused that downfall? You're not being able to think. I think one of the biggest things a man what makes a man is the ability to control your emotions. Because if we're not in our emotions, we're in our intellectual state of mind, thinking, and we can be rational. We can be conflict resolutions can be established. Clear communication and order. That's what a man is designed to bring order to situations, not participate in the female bullshit. No, it's to get her. Come on up here. Because I'm not coming down there with you. Come on up here and let's talk about it. And if you don't want to come up here and talk about it, you want to stay down there in your emotions, I'm leaving. That's what a man does. Because a man has control of his emotions. Therefore, his intellect overrides and takes control of the situation like a man is. Because females are what? They're emotional creatures. They don't think when they're in emotions. They feel. I feel you did that, but no, it wasn't that I didn't want to be here. I was taking care of business. I was at the shop, then I went down there to go pick this money up, and you know what I'm saying, I'm taking care of business. I'm trying to get this money. I understand why you feel the way you feel, but that's not what it is. This is logic. This is facts. What I'm telling you. So erase your feelings and let's get on and move on to this. They be stuck in their feelings because they're emotional creatures. So it's our job as men to pull them out of their emotions and get them. Because once you get a female that, man, I'm trying to tell you, man. Once you meet a female that has control of her emotions, man, she is dope as fuck. You that sets the standard high. If you ain't on her level of control of her emotions, I'm not even gonna give you. I'm not give you 25% of my emotion, of my energy and efforts. Promise you that, because that's most important to find, and that goes for a female. If a female, that's why females respect men that are in order, man. You know how females like. You ever come across a female that like you to get physical and roar and grab them by the neck and all that stuff? They get turned on by that. They like that, man. I'm like, why you be doing that? She be like, it just does something. It's like a tingle down in me when you get like that. And then you got those that love it so much, they'll give you reason to be like that just so you can get like that, like toxic behavior. But they love that masculine man, and that's what this world is lacking. We got a lot of feminine energy males out there, and these women are tired of it.
Do you think we ever can bring that masculinity back, though, Mar?
Man, no, because the world is, it's no. They're gonna be dinosaurs in by the time my daughter, she's 10, by the time she's in her 40s, unless one of them generations come down and
so you say that the masculine black man, you think he's gonna go extinct?
Man, in about 5 decades, man, it's gonna be bad, man. It's gonna be bad. These little kids is being raised by these females. That's the new narrative. They really putting emphasis in there. And here's the thing: it's black people are very sexual beings. They're extreme sexual beings. Oh, they're extreme. Yeah. And they're gonna keep producing these babies and leaving them, and that's not gonna change. None of it, man. The ball is halfway down. It's been gone. You can't stop the momentum of that ball.
And Lamar, I don't know you personally. Like I know you from the podcast, and I never met you face to face.
Right.
But when you was a young boy, did somebody have to tell you to do something more than once? I mean, anybody. When you was younger, did you have a male role model to tell you to do something at one time and do it, or had that respect?
My parents put the fear of God in me, and as kids. So they didn't. When they had to tell you twice, there was a problem. So I don't recall having to tell over and over and over about anything.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's what we
So my mom knew how to teach lessons to slow learners.
Oh yeah.
Like for example, one thing I do recall, she used to always get on me about when I went through puberty, wear deodorant. You know how that shit. You got to teach him and all that. And then she got tired of telling me. One day I was like maybe 12, 13 years old. She put me in the tub and she washed me. She ain't never had to tell me again after that because I was so embarrassed. And she talked shit to me.
That's a lesson right there.
Yeah, my mom knew how to teach lessons to slow learners, and the apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like that, man. That is great lessons, because I feel like as a man, like I have a son, I told him, man, every time when you do something wrong, you still gotta look me in my eyes. You know what I mean? You gotta stand on wrong, you gotta stand on good. So you always gotta have that thing of looking a man in the eyes. You gotta figure ways to control your emotions, how to work on that, and know how to maneuver. A lot of men, when you as a man, you gotta know how to maneuver. You gotta know how to deal with Lamar is an asshole. I gotta know how to deal with him if I gotta work around him.
Man, that's what I was saying, man. I swear I was telling my dude, you absolutely right. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's funny you hit that motherfucker right on it. And I was telling them that, man. Me personally, when I meet somebody, man, I'm listening to them. I don't like texting. I like to talk because I can hear what I need to hear and get what I need to get. And all the intel that I get, I put it in a folder. I put it in a file and put it in a cabinet. So when I'm about to enter this individual's world, I'll put a file out and I'll do a review on how to handle this person. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know who you're dealing with. You gotta know everything about as much as you can about them. And they'll tell you without you asking them. I'll ask one question and that didn't answer like 5, 6 other questions.
And I feel like that's the key thing. It still take me a long time to be you gotta be able to listen. Because somebody gonna let you know all the shit you need to hear.
Man, sometimes they don't even know it. They really don't know.
It's like alcohol, right?
Yeah.
You drink that good shit, that shit comes out your pores.
They really do.
That shit comes right out your pores. So
and you don't even realize it's coming out your pores.
If
you still drinking.
Smell like E&J going down the road. But and that's the truth, man. And I feel like that's the keys, man. We don't know how that conflict solution is not up there high. The maneuver game is not up to high. So
it ain't that we don't even know. We don't know about them. We don't know about those are all mental tools.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason why we don't know about them because it's not being spoke about, and each one and teach one effect ain't in effect. You know, it's just like you said, you teaching boys, you teach your son consequences, repercussions, and stand on all 10 toes and look me in the eyes and stuff like that. That stuff's taught. And if it ain't taught by somebody, you gotta learn it because you can watch others and learn. You can learn a lot from a dummy. I'll be telling these young dudes how to hand money. You know how we fold it up and shake hands and exchange, and you know what I'm saying? They give the money like this because a lot of moms some moms allow their son to pay for their cut. She'll give them the money, and then I'll be like, fold it up, put it in your hand, shake my hand, look me in the eyes. You always look a man in the eyes, make the firm shake. You know, make the shake firm, not squeezing hard, but yeah, I'll show them all that, and then slide the money out. You see how you did that? They'd be like, yeah, and I
feel like the most disrespectful thing is to throw somebody in the man's hand.
Or just drop it.
Just drop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, foreigners do that dumb stuff.
Like you gotta, you know what I mean? I feel like that's disrespect. But it's countless things, you know, they lack of knowing, you know what I mean? And that's what I worry about because I see a lot of them getting deleted. You know what I mean?
Knowing is half the battle, like they say in G.I. Joe. Knowing is half the battle, man. If you start knowing, you're halfway through the battle. It's gonna help you get through it a lot better. It ain't gonna never stop, man. This shit is bullshit here. This shit, I'm trying. My ultimate goal is to get out the United States. It's not fair here. We don't have a fair shot here.
And I feel like you're stuck in the matrix. Like
you are. As long as you're in the United States, you're stuck in the matrix.
I feel like
because they've been stuck in the matrix for the last 400 years. Yeah. When they accept being slaves, they were stuck in the matrix. This one guy was saying that Pharaoh Ramsey was speaking about the Hebrew slaves, and it was like there's so many of them. They can overturn all of us if they wanted to, but fear if you put fear in somebody, you can have your way with them.
You know what I mean? And that's the crazy thing about just the fear aspect. And you start noticing like certain things people do around you to check your temperature. You know what I mean? And that's why I tell everybody, man. Even my son, I tell him, you gotta listen to somebody. Like you're gonna listen to somebody. If it's gonna be the teacher, it's gonna be the cop or anybody, it's always a hierarchy in life.
We all get seeds planted in us, and what a seed is
the bird eats the flies off the elephant. It's all a system. You know what I mean?
Nature. But check this out though. we all get seeds planted in us.
Mhm.
You know, that and them seeds will grow later on in life, and it's like it'll hit you like, oh, that's what mom was saying. That's what dad was saying. That's what uncle. You know, I get it now. I didn't get it back then, but now I get it. Man, with the average human being going through life, hearing stuff about themselves and people telling them, because everybody done heard something. Everybody done heard someone speak some positive into them or some truth to them. Either they took it or they didn't take it or they didn't understand it, whatever the case, or they didn't care. But then they get in a situation where they start understanding. If they ain't figured it out by 25, by the time they 25, they're not gonna figure it out. If them seeds don't start growing, like I need to get a job, grandma right, I need to get off my butt and do this, that, and other. I need to take care, go be in my kids' life more. I need to go downtown and get custody of my, fight this girl from taking my kid and doing whatever. If those seeds don't grow by the time you're 25, man, you're gonna struggle in life. You really are, because 25 is the half point life. You should have an idea, a small idea on how this hood works. Because by the time you in your 30s, you should know what's going on out here.
And Bob, like you said, just the basic things of knowing how to move as a man and the etiquette of being a man and just the conflict solution. And that's exactly why these boys are struggling. They're not able to get to your age of close to 50 or my age of 32 because they don't got that. And the mother, I'm sorry to say this, man, but it's the truth. A woman can't get a boy prepared the day of the life of being a man. They don't have the manual.
But do you think that goes the same for a man raising a girl?
No.
Right. That's crazy. That's how much of a leadership the male is, and that's why the male is such a danger in order, to continue to do what they're supposed to do. So we got to get them out. We got to separate them. We got to separate them, keep the vision.
And that's why, and I feel that's why a lot of black women are single. Not by
choice.
Not by choice. It's by choice, but it's not.
But if the right man come, they'll take that opportunity. The right one come.
Because they think they know everything and they come off like they Jesus already. You know what I mean? Like they a holy roller and shit like that. And men don't got time for all that nagging shit and not having peace. You know what I mean? A man can be happy with a lunch meat sandwich. And be by his fucking self. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But there's somebody to be the destructor of being a dream killer and shit like that.
A headache. A headache. Like you supposed to be my aspirin, my Tylenol, my bear. I already left a whole world full of headaches, hundreds and hundreds of headaches, and then I come into my world, my kingdom, and I got another big headache that I got to lay with. Like, where's my peace at? You don't understand your role.
Mm-hmm. And that's the same for us. We got to know what their piece is too. And
true, it goes both ways.
And you got to know it's like what's that motherfucker? What's that thing you used to have? The old phones, we had to spin that shit.
The dials, phone dials.
Yeah, the phone dial phones, or you had to ring it like that.
Yeah,
rotary phones.
Rotary phones.
We gotta know. You gotta know what what number you gotta go to, and because if you don't have it the right motion, your shit all fucked up. You ain't going. You ain't going out.
You gotta let it come on. There's a way to do it.
It's definitely a way to do it, and you know what I mean. Sometimes that's where we lack of not knowing people with their limit. Everybody got a cap on everything. How far it can go, how low can they go, and you gotta know that information.
Yeah. And a lot don't. Not knowing is half the battle. Because it's definitely a battle. And you learn from your battles, and your battles prepare you for the wars. Mm-hmm. If you ain't in proper preparation for performance, you ain't properly prepared. When it's time for war, your performance is not gonna be, it's gonna be poor.
But you know why I think men can raise daughters? And it's the opposite why? Because a daughter, her hero is her father. The father is everything. The father is on a high pedestal. You know what I mean? In most cases, you know what I mean? In most cases, you know what I mean? Even if she does have, you know what I mean, her dad was never there, she's still gonna be, you know what I mean, her daddy issue is gonna be the all-time high. You know what I mean? That shit going a nigga can hide daddy issues.
Yeah, until he get around until he get
Another
around
real
another
man.
one, we'll sense it.
Yeah,
Let him
we'll
start
sense it.
talking, we'll sense it.
You can smell that feminine energy
Yeah.
in that bitch assness coming
Yeah,
out of
you
him.
really can.
But
You really can. But the thing about the difference between men, fathers raising daughters, and mothers, what makes it easier for fathers is that a real father knows the situation. I mean, this is a female, so he's normally going to have a crew like myself. I have a village full of females that I get examples from and that I get information from and all that. Women don't have that. They only got their girls to talk to, and them girls is in the same boat because they ain't got no guys to go and get, ask questions to, and get direction and how can I handle him, and they don't have that. Because when my child gets to where she gets to becoming that woman and get those gifts, those cursed gifts every month, then I'm going to other females and getting all the information I can to give to her to make sure that she's right. Women they don't have that because they push men away. They surrounded by nothing ass niggas, or they just don't know how to pick them, or whatever the case may be. They don't have what we have.
We also gotta debunk this shit right here, though, man. This why I hate that our black women do, man. Oh, you don't need no husband around. You don't need the father around. I did it for 1,000 years. No. It takes a village to raise a kid, but we pump that propaganda of single parent households are great and split households are great. No, that shit is tough on kids, man. That shit is really tough.
People that go with that flow are just weak-minded followers.
Yeah.
Weak-minded followers, and the world is so full of them. There's a sucker born every day, and a sucker is a weak-minded human being who can't think for themselves and thinking emotionally, thinking irrationally, making irrational decisions, not logical decisions, because they're all in their feelings for whatever reason. Misery loves company. So that's so true. People be jealous of people that I heard things like, you got your baby mom helping you out, or you got a dad, and you got a mom, and this, that. Like people would be hurt. They'd be really hurt. So therefore, they're gonna give negative advice.
And I feel sorry for people, man. I start seeing the real views of people, right? You know what I mean? We in like social gatherings and like schools and shit like that. You don't think the white people laugh at the motherfuckers with the 6 kids and no dad and the mom going? You don't think they laugh at that woman?
Just more reason to look down upon us.
You know what I mean? They just laugh. Oh man.
Kids all bad. Kids unruly. Like, it's just sad. Painting a fucked up picture. And the whole world is seeing all this. So they looking at like, if they don't care about themselves, why should we care?
Why I gotta help this kid? Because this nigga keep on fucking up in class, and it's a lot of teachers because they underpaid, but there's a lot of them just it's probably some systematic racism with some of these white teachers. Not to say all of them, throw it all in a barrel, but it's probably
not even just the teachers, the system, because the teachers just follow with the system. They follow the system. It's the people in high school, man. They took away culinary arts and wood shop. We had that growing up, and that's a survival tool, teaching a person how to cook, how to build and use their head and use their mind and things like that. Those are survival tools. And they took them out, they took them out to schools. They don't care. They don't care about none of that stuff. They just want kids to go to the next grade to make their numbers look good so they can get their funding.
And Mar, what's that old saying is? They say a way to a man's heart is what?
Through his stomach.
Through his stomach. They used to have home ec. You know what I mean? You used to learn how to, cook a little bit. You learn how to sew. You learn how to the basic things. I bet a lot of motherfuckers don't know how to sew. They don't know how to iron.
You give them a needle and a thread and that little one thing, that helps you. They're gonna be like, what the hell?
You remember how hard that shit is to put that shit in that hole, man?
If you don't know what you're doing, it's really hard. But they teach you that what this piece is for. Stick it in the needle and then they teach you that and pull it out. There you go. Bam.
And my stepmom used to tell me I used to get holes in my socks. I used to be habitual holes in my socks. I used to fuck my socks up. Oh, you better patch that shit up. You know what I mean? Like
Home ec taught me how to sew to the point where I was sewing cartoon characters on jeans and hustling, selling them to girls and shit. Like I had learned how to sew. Yeah, then going to prison. I had to learn how to sew in prison because I'd keep holes in my socks at times playing football. So yeah, that's a tool that I learned that I took out with life. You use home ec, spelling, English, home ec, and woodshop more than out in the world than any of those other them other classes that they be teaching.
And that's why I said, man, them life skills are important, man. You know what I mean? It takes that time when you be by yourself and you gotta live in this world and you got an apartment to yourself and you single and you think about, damn, my check is this big. I gotta survive for another 2 weeks. I gotta pay my bills. I can't go to fucking Mickey D's or fucking give me a steak sandwich.
I can't even take the kids to skate.
You know what I mean? I gotta know how to balance my checks. I need to make a couple meals that can last me during the week. But people don't even, it's countless niggas that don't know how to do them basic things of cooking, figure it out. It's a lot of people that don't know how to basic clean, man. It's niggas that I know, I work with personally every day, man. They smell like bounce that ass. I mean, they smell like Freak Nick. Like, how do you don't know how to take care of your personal hygiene and you 20-something years old?
They wouldn't talk. It's a funny story, right? So I heard this girl talking to she was like 10 years old. Actually, it was my daughter talking to somebody that was like 14, 15 years old. And she was talking about deodorant that you put in between your legs, right? And the girl was like, you put it on it? Like, no, you don't put it on the vagina. You put it in between your legs. And it's just like underarms. Your underarms start sweating, the deodorant to prevent it from, you know what I'm saying, smelling funky. So when, when she's sweating down there, that can start making it smell a little, you get what I'm saying? And the little girl was in denial, like, no, that's not true. And this, that, and other. And she was like, if it's sweat, it starts smelling like fish. Breaking this all the way down. This girl is 5 years older than this child, right? And didn't even know because she wasn't taught. All this stuff, like you said, like we say, we understand everything starts at home. If they're not taught at home, they're going to either learn on their own or follow somebody else. Somebody else is going to tell them, or they're not going to know.
And like I countless time, I tell my daughter personally, when she's around me, and I told her this. If you're sitting down, close your legs. I don't care if you got pants on, dress. Always keep your legs closed. Don't have your legs crossed out. That's what my grandma, I remember used to get on my sister. You better keep your legs closed. You better sit, sit properly. You know what I mean? That's what, you know what I mean?
That's basic. That's basic 101. Basic 101. But then
if you gotta go out, if you gotta dig a wedgie out, better go to that motherfucking bathroom. You ain't doing that shit around. You know what I mean? It's simple things.
Yeah, it's common sense thing for real. Once they get older, they'll see that it's common sense. But let's take it up another notch. A lot of even older ones, man. I was always wondering, like when I go do my thing with a female, and I go, you know what I'm saying? I go to town, I go eat. You know what I'm saying? Why does your pubic hair smell like urine? Like,
God damn,
you know why? You know how that happens? They wipe from back to front.
You said these women wiping back to front.
Back to front. So when they wipe from back to front, the tissue has the urine on it, and it's pulling up and it's getting in the pubic hair.
And the piss going in the pubic hair.
That's how I could never understand. I could until I start thinking about it, make it make sense.
But I was
like you a whole-grown woman, and you don't know you don't have the common sense to wipe from front to back. I wouldn't make sure. When I realized that, I wouldn't make sure my daughter understood the assignment.
Yeah, and I never understand why I did too. When I was running wild, you know what I mean? before I found myself, you know what I mean, and stopped my destruction. Um, I don't understand why is a lot of women that lead all that tissue there. You ever seen some shit? It looked like you know what I mean. You got a hoodie. How the fuck you still got all this tissue inside you?
Damn, I can't. I don't know.
You know what I mean? It looked like fucking cotton candy everywhere.
Rubbing too hard, weak toilet paper. She's
Like,
probably
but
she's probably wiping from front to back, and the pubic hairs stubbles was eating at the toilet paper, and that's. I mean, we just trying to make it make
yeah,
sense.
I remember. Yeah, I remember when I was a young boy too, man. Just learning life lessons. I remember I met this nice dark skinned woman when I was younger. You know what I mean? I was trying to get fresh with Mar. I kissed the lady's neck, right?
Right.
That shit tastes like pure sweat and fucking bacon grease.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I said, damn, this bitch don't clean her neck. like, like, like again, man, hygiene's everything, man. Especially as a woman, you got to make sure you always. We can go out sometimes. We rushing late to clean our fucking balls and get out going. Clean our underarms real quick on the run.
Bird bath. Do a little quick
Bird
bird
bath.
bath.
Women can't really bird
Women
bath.
can't do that. They can't do that.
Women can't bird bath, man.
You can't do that. You can't do that. You got to get in the goddamn shower because that thing down there, they don't wear it. I was told, from my understanding, you ain't supposed to be wearing. For me, you ain't supposed to be wearing no panties when you go to sleep. You gotta let that thing air out every chance you get. It's trapped, it's concealed all through the day. You sweating and doing all this stuff, and then you get in the shower, you clean it, and yeah, you let it air out, man. You gotta let it air out. I love women that talk about they don't wear panties with sundresses. You gotta let that thing air out, man.
Getting
That's a
air
whole
dry.
open wound that,
He said
like,
this. He said let the air out.
yeah, let it air out, man. Let it air out. They just keep confining that thing in heat and hotness and darkness, and it's just, man, they don't treat that shit. They don't treat it right. A lot of them don't treat it. They don't appreciate it. Then you got those that really, really appreciate it. Hygiene, feminine hygiene products, and keep it on point. And there's no smell to it, and the water, and it tastes like water. Watermelon from
Yeah.
Alabama.
This nigga said
No seeds.
watermelon from
With
Alabama.
no seeds. Some of those
No
will have seeds.
seeds.
You got none of that. It's just perfect because they take care of yourself. And when you take care of yourself, that's because you love yourself and you love everything about yourself, and you know the assignment. Take care of your health. Don't be walking around here smelling like what the fuck. Don't you smell like goddamn, you smell good. Ain't no damn, what the fuck wrong with you? You know, a lot of women don't get it. A lot of
Yeah,
females, because a woman gonna get it. A lot of females don't get it. Women get it. Real women get it. They talk about where the real men at. Where the real women at? Where the real women at? That know how to play their role. That know what the deal is. To know that you supposed to be my Tylenol. To know you're supposed to have my back and speak life into me. And be positive and have pure communication and follow my lead and stay in your place. Where them real women at? Who don't get all in, who know how to control their emotion. A real woman know how to control her emotions.
yeah, but the crazy thing about it is, man, it's a lot of them. And I'm sorry to say it like this, but it's the truth, man. How you present yourself, that's how I'm gonna come at you.
Man, if I know you on the internet and you showing your ass and you popping that thing, and I'm looking at you as a sex object. That's what I do. I go down Facebook or Instagram and I be seeing all that stuff. I go in the comments, sex object. Yep, you ain't nothing but a sex object.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you don't want to be a sex object, then yeah, I love the ones who just don't be putting emphasis on their butts. They just all you see is their beauty in their body, and they just being as sophisticated and sexy and elegant as they are. Them other ones, man, y'all ain't nothing but sex object to men for real. And you do it for the likes. Because I guarantee you, if men stop paying attention, if these thirsty ass, goofy ass fuck niggas stop giving you all that attention, this shit wouldn't be all going crazy. Because not all of y'all are doing it for yourselves. No, majority of y'all doing it for the likes and attention.
But I just don't understand, man. You got to bring more substance to that because we all gonna get old, and that body ain't gonna look the same. So you gotta bring something mentally.
Man, it's gonna be a great depression when all these motherfuckers get in their 50s and 60s and their bodies ain't looking like that.
That BBA
Ain't
ain't
gonna
gonna look the
last.
same.
And a lot of these BBLs be all broken down and not even natural looking because their money ain't right. They scrambling up all the change they can, to go down to Dr. Miami to get a discount deal on the goddamn BBL, just to come back to try to find a nigga to help pay their bills because they done spend all their income tax check on the BBL so they can get their likes up on their fucking Instagram. Man, come on, go on somewhere with that goofy mentality. I can't wait till they get old and that stuff. So I hope the next generation don't be on that type of time. But who knows?
When we grew up with natural, beautiful women, man. I mean, natural, beautiful inside and outside.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to that time of this natural beauty?
Internet.
Not these titty lifts and
the internet and all the attention that them other women who started that trend was getting.
Fucking
rappers,
up your nose,
glorifying. Yeah, you get more money if your body is banging.
I
get more attention.
I miss them natural black queens like Angela Davis, and they had that mental and had a beautiful smile. Like it's
and was 100% real and natural. No makeup, no air, none of that BS, man. But it's just to me, it's followers. Yes, you can look at a person and just tell if they're a follower. If they sagging their pants and this, that, and other. To me, you a follower of dumb stuff. If you got butterfly eyelashes and weave all the way down to your thighs, you a follower of dumb stuff. To me, I don't waste my time with them.
I don't understand. Like when I see that shit though, more these motherfuckers with the hair all the way to the ass, like bitch, you getting that hair in that toilet when you take a shit. You ain't gonna tell me you gonna have it in the bonnet all the time.
That thing gonna slip out.
And you got diarrhea on your fucking braids.
You can't even pull it when you supposed to pull it in the bedroom.
And you start seeing them bitches with them real long, fucking Wolverine nails. How you clean that poom poom?
That booty hole.
How you clean that booty too?
Man, I wouldn't even. I mean, it's just there's so many different human beings out here, and a lot of them operate off of a dumb frequency, a frequency that don't even make sense, that we could never plug into, and they probably could never plug in the frequency we are in because they're so stuck in that matrix.
And this is why I feel like this fucked up thing, man. I feel like we get to this word of, man, I got the time to do what I gotta do. The time gonna be there. No, nigga, you don't know that. You're like, our hourglasses keep on going every day, Lamar. And we don't got the fucking time just to be bullshitting and saying.
We really don't. Not where we're at. Not where we're at. We are so behind the 8 ball that we ain't got time for no dumb stuff, man. For real. We ain't got time to be spending all damn day talking about people who don't even know we exist. Celebrities don't even know we exist. Like,
but
man,
they glorify them like they gods.
Man, that don't make no sense.
Chris Brown don't know you exist.
You arguing about a nigga about LeBron James or some other famous player, and y'all about to get into a heated situation, and this nigga don't even know y'all exist. Yeah. So make that make sense.
Just like last year, I had that beef with that old nigga, man. That old snowflake nigga, but that's another story. But I'm just saying, like, niggas go so hard for a celebrity, but won't go hard for their life.
Won't go hard for their brother. Won't go hard for themselves. Won't go hard for themselves, but they'll go hard for a motherfucker that don't even know you exist. Like, make that make sense.
Don't even know you exist, man. They go so hard, man. Somebody talk about their mama. Oh, man, they don't mean like that, mama.
Oh, they ain't going hard. Like, you're right, man. And never talk about his favorite player or his favorite. Yeah, it's a rap.
Man, it's some goofy shit, man. It's definitely some goofy shit, man. Before we get out of here, man, let the people know what you got going on. You still off the grid with the social media, or how's that going, man?
No, I'm back on. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, Jarrell Lamar. JOR-EL. You know, I'm putting out my lives and speaking my thoughts and planting seeds and, you know, trying to network with people. And podcasts, I'm just doing it. I'm just flowing with it till, you know, God tells me it's time to. Well, I'm just going where God put me. People call me, want me on their show, I'm gonna get on it. So, you know, I'm just, you know, trying to touch some human being and make them think and understand how important things that we need to do, like self-check, self-evaluations, healing ourselves, letting go of the past, focusing on our futures, and, you know, grace grabbing the moment and learning from it. You know, I'm focused. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get into prisons next because I want to work on them reentry programs. I'm you know, trying to end up working my way into some type of political, you know, political stance on certain things and certain individuals running. So I'm trying to put some things together to change the world. That's my purpose, to help human beings, you know, any way I can, make them better, give them the mental tools that I got to help me change. You know, I'll let your boy.
Yeah, definitely go holler at him, man. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, man. I think this discussion was much needed. Please also come check me out Monday. Monday we doing meditation Mondays. Meditation Mondays will be back this week. Because I still want to tackle some more, man. Just seeing this reflecting on my life, man, and the accountability I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just days off, man. I just daydream. You know what I mean? A lot of people think I'm weird because I daydream sometimes, and you know what I mean? Because I be in my deep meditation form. I just think about, man, to go a part of time when I was 10 years old to see what could a 30-year-old Rod could say to 10-year-old Rod.
Yeah,
You know, the person was struggling how to read and fucking up, man. I mean, not taking school serious. I tune into that and I look at that little 10-year-old in my mind and said, man, we're doing all right, man. We doing better. Cause you gotta talk to that little Lamar is inside you, man.
Yeah.
He's still in you, man.
I had a moment in the shop where I was counseling. I made a man cry. I made a woman cry just because I was saying some real powerful stuff that they needed to hear. And when they left and I'm sweeping their hair up and whatnot, I turned around, looked in the mirror, and I was like, man, I'm proud of you. You doing some good things out here. I'm so proud of you. You got to give yourself those flowers, man.
If you don't give you flowers, nobody's gonna give it to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I feel like the biggest thing before we get out of here, time separation is good for you. Sometimes you got to cut. I feel like, you know what I mean. Sometimes your mental is like a piece of steak. You got to cut off the fat.
Fat. Yeah.
And make it that motherfucker that sirloin. You know how the sirloins?
Yeah.
That motherfucker so lean. That fat cut off. That's what you gotta do with your mental. Sometimes you gotta cut that fat off.
You got to. It's a separate. That's why you'll see me put on Facebook letting people know, like, yeah, I'm taking a day off. I don't want to be bothered. You know what I'm saying? I need some time to myself. You got to pull yourself out of society so you can reflect and relax and re-energize your battery and get your mind right. That's cutting off the fat, because the fat ain't nothing but in the way. It's in the way to what you're really trying to get to.
And it's a fucking distraction too, man. It's like,
man.
It's like them Vegas lights. Niggas, people be in your life like that Vegas lights on that strip. It gets you stuck in to go gamble. That fucking lights and all that shit.
I look at it like, you know how a horse ain't got no blinders and it's just all over the place. No, man, you gotta put blinders so you can just see forward. You can't see no distraction. All that stuff, negative people, family, big beefs with individuals that you love, or whatever the case may be, kids. All that stuff is distractions. You gotta execute that, cut the fat, put the blinders on, and go ahead and go forward, man. Otherwise, you just playing with it, man, and you just wasting time. You ain't making no mental adjustment, and that's what we're supposed to do as human beings. We're supposed to make mental adjustments. Who wants to be happy? The real motherfuckers that want to be happy is the ones that protect their peace, who love being by themselves, don't feel like they alone, and all that other goofy ass talk. No, man, you got to put the blinders on and keep it straight and not even look at pay the distractions any attention. If you pay them attention, you're going to be broke.
And have that gratitude and humbleness. And you know what I mean? Every day I thank God and the most high I wake up, man. Cause that's another day I get to get better
Man,
and change what I did yesterday.
you can't worry about tomorrow because tomorrow will take care of itself. You can't worry about what's going to happen an hour from now, 2 hours, 3 hours. You can't worry about none of that, man. You got to focus on the now, because that's all you can control. And control it right. Understand that and control it how it's supposed to be controlled. Stop playing with it. Learn from it. And I guarantee you, the more you keep doing it, you'll start seeing it's working. And then you start building confidence. And next thing you know, you done took off with it. And you ain't looking back because you understand the assignment. Focus on the moment.
Also, before we get out of here, 9 more subs to 300. Please, if anybody didn't subscribe, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 300 and then after 300, let's get to that 1K. So if you can help me out, please subscribe to the channel. We putting dope content out on Rod Uncensored Network. I'm having a spiritual based show coming out with my man Damian Fair. He's going to be talking. So that should be coming into work soon. So if any content creators would like to come on the network, you know what I mean? Yes, collab and yes, network, man. Because that's the only way we're gonna advance, man, by collabing as a people.
Trust the process, brother. Trust the process. You're getting there.
I appreciate you, Lamar, to coming on here, man. Hopefully you can stop by Meditation Mondays.
I'm glad you said that because I was about to tell you that I wanted to get in that or the spiritual aspect of the episodes. Either or.
All right. So I'll lock you in for tomorrow, Meditation Mondays. And make sure y'all have a good night. You know what I mean? Have a good week. And come see me Monday night at 8 p.m. Monday night. Come check out Meditation Mondays, man. And we're out.